Hey everybody, today we're looking at the poem Flanders Field and analyzing it. So first thing that I noticed when I read this poem about the imagery, because the first section that we're looking at is what imagery is featured in the poem. And the things that stand out to me the most are the poppies, because the poppies are red and like the color of blood, and there was a massive amount of bloodshed in World War I due to trench warfare. The next question that we're looking at in analyzing this poem on the worksheet is, what is the tone of the poem? Now, the tone of the poem, I think of being very remorseful because of the great loss of life. Some of the lines that make this stand out to me are, "We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field." This makes me think of someone who is looking to the past and saying we had wonderful lives, and now that's all gone. Now we're no more, and that's kind of depressing. Um, and the poem also calls for people to not forget the sacrifice of those who died for us in World War I. And so it's kind of a tone of remembrance. The line that makes me think of this is, "Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold high, and if you break faith with us to die." It's especially that line, to the torch be yours to hold high. So we're carrying the torch of remembering these fallen soldiers. What is the poem's message about warfare? Well, I would say that its message is that war is brutal and yet also transformative. It changes people, but it also leaves no time to contemplate or reflect on nature. So when you're in the moment of battle, you're having to completely focus on that battle, and you can't really take the time to reflect on what's going on. You're just in the moment and doing the battle. And then the next question that we're going over, which is the last question for this analyzing of the poem. What does the poem say overall about World War I? I think that this poem says that World War I was a senseless war, and that soldiers were killed and abandoned after the war and just kind of forgotten, and that warfare doesn't give us time to give meaning to those deaths, that soldiers just kind of fall in fields and they're kind of almost forgotten about. They're not seen as individuals, and they just become bodies that lay in specifically Flanders Field. And it just kind of continues that idea of remorse and the sadness that goes along with not only World War I, but war in general.